What's up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out some R&B, neo soul, and gospel chords that we might be using in flow moments or openers or any kind of part of this experience that has that kind of gospel R&B vibe to it. So we're just going to go through a bunch of chords today and just kind of get right into it. So our first chord that we're going to look at, classic R&B voicings, is our major 7 chord. So if we play our major 7 chord that uses the E string as the root, let's say we're in the key of A, our 1 major 7 would be an A major 7. So that chord looks like this. So a guy that I follow, Todd Pritchard, he always hammers on to that chord. So that looks something like this. So just beautiful chord voicing. And then we have our major 7 starting with the A string as the root. So if we're in the key of D on the A string, we'd be playing a D major 7. So that looks like this. And there's that kind of like classic R&B, neo soul pull off hammer on that's associated with this chord a lot. So that's your major 7 starting with the A string as the root. Then a chord I like to use, the major 9, sometimes in substitution for the major 7. Basically, I like to think of it as if you're playing a C in the key of G, C2 shape, just add your pinky on the G string here, and you've got your major 9. So when I hear this chord, I always think about "O Come to the Altar," the Peace Collective edition by Elevation, where they play like a C major 9 to an F major 9. So it sounds like this. Love that chord so much. And then we have a minor 7 flat 5 next. So imagine you're in the key of G and you need to play a 5 major 7, which is a D major 7. And you need to get to a E minor 7, which is your 6 minor. Your minor 7 flat 5 is a great half step walk up in between those chords. So your 5 major 7, to get to that E minor 7, all you have to do is take your middle finger and just put it a half step above D to E flat. And you get that sound, and that takes you right to your E minor. So that's a great way to get from a 5 major 7 to a 6 minor, is that minor 7 flat 5. And then you've got your traditional minor 7, which has a lot of hammer on and pull offs associated with it in R&B. So let's take our E minor 7. You've got these hammer ons. There's another one where you bar the whole chord and just add, like slam on the chord itself. So that's your minor 7. And then you have your minor 9. If you guys are familiar with Incubus, that song Drive, that second chord is a minor 9. So it gives you that minor sound and it sounds more mysterious. You can slide this chord and all these chords up and down the neck. Another one of my favorite chords. Using the E string as a root, the minor 11, that's another one of my favorite chords. Let's say we take a B minor 7. and we play a B minor, this inversion, and you play it with these strings, this leaves your pointer finger to play that 11 down here, and it just creates like an open kind of minor sound. Love that chord. Then we have our 7 chords. Everyone knows when you start playing guitar, that C7. That kind of cheesy country 7 chord. I like substituting that with a 9 sometimes. So if we take, let's take that Go Chase song up here. We have our G9. So it still gives you that kind of like 7 kind of sound using a 9. And you can even play the high E string. And so in that Go Chase song, there's a chord that I play up top. It's a G7 sharp 9. So you take that 9 and you just sharp it. And then moving on to the flat 9 as well, you just kind of drop that 2 half steps. So in context, here's that chord progression. There's that E string, major 7, and then it goes to the G7 sharp 9. So that's where that's used. A good way to get back to that original C minor that I'm playing in the intro is to play the flat 9. So sharp 9, flat 9, back to the C minor. So those are great chords to know. You'll hear a lot of that in the reference material that I put out with all the different artists, R&B artists and gospel artists. And then lastly, we have our diminished chords. Those are kind of those haunting, like... So you can play that with the G string root. And you can play that same shape using the A string as a root. And so those chords are in that Alan Stone cover as well. So I'm going to play that chord progression again and see if you can see some of those chords and where they appear in this progression. And then just listen to that in the link and just lift it and start practicing some of these chords because they're super useful. Anyways, hope this helps and doesn't confuse. If you guys have any questions or want to add to this, if you guys know of any chords that you like playing in this genre, let me know, and hope this helps a lot. Later, guys.